What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. It's time for the Dudes in Blue NYCFC talk show. Thanks for hanging out with us for episode 118. Hope this episode finds you well. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me, as always,
Antonino. What is up, dude?
Dude, what's happening?
Not much, man. Not much.
It's Monday night. Ready for some talk?
I'm always ready. This is like my favorite part of the week. Except for when you win. Winning is the first part. This is the second part.
Especially when we win. So, guys, if you're just joining us, let us know where you're watching from. And thanks for saying hi. Right off the bat, saying hello to Jorge, to Steven, and Joey. And Joey's in San Francisco. Wow. So thanks for joining us as always. Christian, good to have you with us as well. And for those listening on the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. Before we dive into NYCFC walking away, I'm going to say stealing 3 points from Toronto over the past weekend, do me a favor. If you guys are watching on the Facebook Live, hit the share button for us and share this feed with your friends. Let your friends know that you're watching and that you're hanging out with us. And then if you're listening on the pod, screenshot it. Screenshot it and share it with us. And let us know that you're hanging with us. So, guys, it's no secret that we're going to talk about the NYCFC win over Toronto. That was yesterday, correct?
It was.
Well, yesterday for right now, but if you're listening to this any other day of the week, it was
Sunday.
At some point in the past. So, we're going to be we're going to dive into it. So, dude, I think we're going to obviously talk about Dahveed. We're going to obviously talk about Tajiris, but right off the bat, I would really like to talk about Josie out the door.
Josie out the door?
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Just not in one of the most obvious places to do it. Just totally not necessary at any level of sport. Your legs are weapons when you're a soccer player. I mean, you don't realize how much strength that actually, just leg muscles and what they can do to concrete and bone and things like, it's no joke. So you can really hurt somebody. So the kick, if it happens and both guys are going for the ball, I understand it, but that was just the most blatant intent to injure someone. Whether it was hard enough or not, it's just intent. That's the only thing you can say, is that it was intent to injure, and he did it right in front of the linesman. Anything less than a red card, I would have been completely just over the moon upset about.
Yeah, it's interesting too because they didn't VAR it.
Oh yeah, which is good.
Which is actually good.
Yeah.
In this case, but. Dude, totally blatant. I mean, it was obviously, I don't know. You could make the argument that there was a foul on Collins first, but it was more shoulder to shoulder than anything else. And even, again, it doesn't warrant what happened after the fact.
Exactly.
Because even if the foul had been called and Josie had still kicked him, Josie still would have probably been issued a red card. So whether it was a foul on Collins or not, whether you kick a player in the shins before or after the play is dead, you're still getting thrown out, in my opinion. So,
I agree.
It just happens that way. I do have to say, though, dude, I am not – while I'm happy with the result, I am not happy with the way this team played in the slightest bit.
No, I would have to agree with you there. Just – results are results, and they're all good. But when it comes down to it, and you're playing against an opponent that's got the same hunger, or you're in the playoffs and it's a must-win attitude, games like this are not going to fly. It's disgusting to be up a man for 80 minutes and give up 2 goals in that fashion that they did. Just, I don't care who's on the field. It just shouldn't happen. It should not happen. They gave too much time and too much space to too many players, and they got bit. In a game where they really should have dominated and just had their foot on the throat of Toronto the entire time. It just didn't happen. It's no excuse. You can't play that way. Moving forward, it's not going to cut it. You play any other team that's higher up in the table, I guarantee you we don't win that game.
Yeah, remember where Toronto is, and look, I think as much as I want to go into Dahveed Villa's goal first, I kind of want to talk about the Toronto goals because we're kind of in the negative mood right now. And you guys let us know in the comments here what you thought about this because it's just ridiculous. I mean, right off the bat, David is saying we should not have given up 2 goals like that. Christian is saying was a really poor game. Ibiaga was hot and cold all game, and our marking in general was so bad. Dude, let me put it this way. You're up a man, okay? You're up a man against Toronto. You eliminate one of their attacking threats via red card, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could afford to have 2 or 3 men on Sebastian Giovinco at all times.
Oh, yeah.
At all times.
Oh, yeah.
Explain to me why Victor Vasquez was able to find Altidore to find Giovinco in acres of space. And for Giovinco, he doesn't need a lot of room, as we could see. How do you give a man like Giovinco that much respect and that much space when you're up a man? I do not understand it. He has proven time and time again that he doesn't need a lot of time and doesn't need a lot of space to make us pay. And it also doesn't help that we got a keeper in goal who almost couldn't stop a shot to save his life at this point. What do you got to do? I mean, were they just lackadaisical because we're up a man? It's just like, I mean, listen, if you look at the pass again, dude, Victor Vasquez's pass to Giovinco was great. He put it right between 2 of our players, and I can't remember who. Might have been a Fori and Matarrita, maybe. I can't remember. But to give that much respect to Giovinco is absolutely insane.
No, and maybe it's a product of the defense playing a much higher line. Maybe they feel like they have to retreat back so far.
But this wasn't retreating.
No, it wasn't.
They were behind the ball.
Yeah, it's just they start backpedaling and they start ball watching, and I have no answer. It's ridiculous. There is no reason that he should have that much time and space ever, whether you're up a man or not. I mean, being up a man is more of a reason why it shouldn't happen, but. He is one of the greatest in the league. Whether his team is winning or not, Giovinco is ridiculous.
But if there's one guy,
yeah, you have to.
When you're up a man,
be on him. You have to just be on him. You have to foul him, knock him down. It doesn't matter. Do what you have to do to make sure he doesn't get a shot off.
And not too long after, they gave away a free kick and a very dangerous opportunity for him as well. I mean, like it's just thank God Stu caught that.
Stopped, yeah.
But honestly, the defense was an absolute joke. I couldn't believe. And then listen, fast forward to the second goal by Vasquez. Vasquez had a hell of a game, picking up a goal and an assist, bringing his team pretty much level 2 times against us, down a man. Nobody marking Marky Delgado, who was able to just pass it right off. He heads it right off to Vasquez, who also is unmarked.
Yeah. This is the situation on this goal where
what's the problem?
You have 3 of your defenders in one half of the box, and the other defender is trying to overcompensate for their positioning by playing towards the middle. So you're leaving the far post wide open, which we tend to do quite a bit. I've seen it happen more often than not. But then when it comes back, when the ball's being crossed, all of a sudden everybody gives them one of these. And they're watching, and instead of realizing, oh, I should probably be marking someone, not worrying about where the ball's going to be. They get caught. They get caught ball watching. They get caught with their feet still, and that's a problem. The positioning really has to be much better. If you want to play a zonal defense, your positioning has to be 110%.
Cover the zones!
Yeah,
the back post is a zone, dude. The back post is a zone. Where is everybody?
Couldn't tell you. If I knew that, I'd be coaching.
I mean, honestly,
it's unreal. It's really ridiculous that when we're scored upon, it's just so open and they're here, have at it. And when we score, it's like it has to take like something amazing to happen. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't know why we didn't have this problem in the beginning of the year. And I don't think it's a product of the coach. I think it's just part of the woes of the season, the ups and downs. The defense really didn't have any downs for the most part, I would say up until the All-Star game. They were pretty much up and up and up. They were playing fantastic. I mean, all the clean sheets, the goals against, really, really favorable numbers. I think now you're getting kind of like the back end of it, and hopefully they can give it an upswing from here on out to, kind of finish the season off. But these are mistakes that just, they're avoidable. They're totally avoidable, and it's just coming down to focus. It's not effort. It's not lack of effort. It's a focus. It's a mental thing. I don't know how much practice can do. It's just that you have to be 110% in the game, knowing where you are at all times, and kind of having your next two moves planned out. If this happens, then this has to happen. And it's those lapses where it could really kill you. And listen, in a game where we're up a man, we gave up the lead twice. Not good. Not good.
No, you give up 2 leads and you're a man up for both instances. I mean, if not for Tajiris Shradi's absolute banger late in the game, this game is a draw, which is going to feel like another loss for us because of the way that the tables were turned there. Yeah. Roddy was saying on Facebook here that the commentator said that whenever teams play a man up, there is always an assumption that everyone is marked. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I understand that it's a possibility, but listen, you got to play soccer for 90 minutes. You got to play soccer for 90 minutes, and when you have guys like Giovinco, and you have guys like Osorio who was playing well, and you have Victor Vasquez, you're not a man up. I'm sorry, you're just not.
It's different when they lose. It's funny because they were talking about it yesterday. You would think, they lost a forward player. They lost an attacking player. So you would think that they would not be able to score because you're missing a key component. The defense would be the same because all those guys are playing normal positions.
Sure.
So I can see if you lose a defender, then it's different. Then, then all of a sudden you've got issues there. And even at that point, you lose a defender, you sub off a forward, and you put a defender in, and all of a sudden you're still playing the same defense. Mm-hmm. They lost a forward. They should not have been able to – you should not have numbers. You should not have odd man rushes. It shouldn't have. You should not give people space. It's just you can't. Whoever was marking out the door, put that guy on Giovinco.
And that's my issue, dude. That's my issue because they didn't lose a defender, and we were still able to score goals. This team is not allergic to goal scoring this year, dude. NYCFC can score goals this year. The problem, my biggest problem is, like you said, they were down an attacker and still wound up being able to score twice to tie up the game on two different occasions. An absolute defensive atrocity. I don't know if it was Ibiaga and not Chanot. I just think maybe Roddy's right. Maybe it was just the fact that they thought they were up a man and we can handle this. But you got a lot of other guys on that team that can contribute, as case in point, right?
Just when you play a game, regardless of what's going on, regardless of opponent, time left, score, you should be playing as if it's a must-win game. Just keep that mentality, and you will not go wrong. You might lose the game, that's fine, but you're not going to lose it in a fashion where it's given away. If someone's going to beat you, it's because they earned it.
Yeah.
And it just can't happen. It just can't. The mental lapses, you've got to do away with them.
It's got to stop. Let's shift a little bit here, dude, because I got a question on Instagram here and some things coming up on the Facebook feed. Quincy813 on Instagram asked us, what do you guys think about Stuver's performance? And then Christian Smith on Facebook commented and said, I really felt bad for Stoyer in this game. Again, dude, the guy's not getting a lot of minutes. I'd like to know what the heck is going on with Sean Johnson. I'd like to know what's happening there. But listen, for the time being, do we see what Jeff Caldwell can do? Perhaps?
Do we recall Rawls?
Yes, bring him back.
Can we do that? Listen.
What's Johansson doing? What's he up to these days?
Where is he? Listen, the first one really just swatted and missed. I think he probably could have got a hand on it. Is it a product of not having enough minutes? I don't know. you get just the same amount of work as the starter does in training, if not more. You get a lot of reps. You see a lot of different angles. You get a lot of different shots. He should be able to stop the ball. The second one, it's harder because it's more chaos and you're not really sure what's going on because everyone's in front of you. But that first one was taken from such a distance where, I mean, yeah, it's a good shot, but is it stoppable? Absolutely. And that's one that you have to make a stop. Listen, it could only be one stop that you make that makes a huge difference. And if that game were to end, 2-1 and he makes that save, it's a big deal.
Sure.
Like that free kick stop, if he stopped it, I mean, it was a relatively easy save, but if he doesn't stop it, and I mean, that thing was dead on, ready for the goal. If he doesn't stop it, you're talking about a 3-3 tie. So again, one save, it may not seem like a lot, but in the end, it could make a huge difference. So you really got to just be laser focused, and he was just not happy. But you can't. Blame on the front. You really got to stop that shot.
Sorry, dude, I lost you there for a second. But yeah, I got. You have an opportunity. You do have an opportunity to make that save. And again, we can play the if Sean Johnson was playing game. You could play that all day long, but at the end of the day, Stuver was in goal. Christian is saying Johnson's prognosis was 6 to 8 days. He'll most likely be back for Philly if the current information out there is correct. So, we can try to confirm that or debunk it. But at any rate, I really hope he is back for the Philly match. Who we should be able to destroy Philly, hopefully. But it could be a trap game. Anyway, speaking of coming back, Dahveed Villa is back, and it only took him 15 minutes to prove that he was back. How about that?
With the help of Anton Tinnerholm's shank.
It was a shass. It was more of a shass.
The shass. I like the shass. The shass has been used multiple times this year.
It was a shot pass. Yeah. Listen. For the man that has not played since June something-ish.
Yeah.
Right? June something-ish. Look, the composure that Dahveed Villa had to touch the ball and not just rip a shot, but dribble past defenders and slot it away. It's just, it's a thing of beauty. He scored a quintessential Dahveed Villa goal. Yeah,
and again, right place at the right time and just being confident in your feet and your ability. When it comes to leg injuries, it's very much a mind game. It's very much a if you don't go all out, you could end up hurting yourself even further because all of a sudden you're trying to overcompensate and use different muscles that you shouldn't be using to accomplish the same things that you normally do. So his big thing was he needed to have faith in that knee. He needed to have faith in his legs, and it didn't let him down. 100% match fit, no, but the plan was to get him 60 minutes, and I think they got him, a little more than that.
70.
So, at 70. So I think he played extremely well. Looks like he didn't miss a beat. I mean, maybe speed-wise, but he didn't really have too many opportunities to really bust it. So, listen.
Dude, that's a world-class player.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's a world-class player that can be off the pitch for several months and then come back and make an impact. And it's like, damn it, yes, we've been able to win without him, but dear God, we can be dangerous when he's on the pitch, especially when he's got Tajiris Shradi around him as well. Yeah, listen, it's no doubt that these guys, this forward core right now, is one of the best, if not the best we've ever had. Just the sheer number of stats so far. I mean, you're going to see a lot of different combinations going forward, though. I think you're going to see a lot of, you might see a lot of games with two strikers. You might see, Domez said he would be interested in using a 4-4-2. That's right.
So now you got a chance to put, Berget up there if you want with them and see what they do together, which they played pretty well together before Villa got hurt.
Yeah, they were starting to connect.
We're starting to build a little bit there, and then you can get all these guys rotating in, and it's really, really good because you're just talking about keeping fresh legs. Everyone's legs being healthy down the stretch is a huge, huge key to success in the playoffs. So actually, we have another question on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it. It's actually a message because our typing question feature wasn't working. But this is from Bronx Blues. He says, with the win against Toronto and Tajiris, Shradi, and Villa back, how big is it for NYCFC for their run at a potential trophy this year? Dude, I mean, you've got your two best goal scorers on the field at the same time. It's huge. It's tremendous. As long as they can work together and get a rhythm going, and they don't play that "let's find Dahveed Villa" game.
Yeah, that's what we always worried about, dude. And I'll tell you what, in the first half, I think I saw it a little bit more than the second half, but you could tell they were looking for him. You could tell they were looking for him in and around the 18, and fortunately, you have a guy like Tajiris Shradi who's not afraid to dribble all up and down that box and to try to get a shot off. But to answer Bronx Blues' question, I think having him back is certainly not going to hurt our chances at making a run for the cup.
I don't think so.
As long as he stays fit, and dude, I'll tell you what, if Dahveed Villa's job is now to put in 60 minutes a game, and if he's contributing for those 60 minutes, and you have Jonathan Lewis that you can bring on, Castellanos that you can bring on, and you've got other offensive, capabilities there that you got Giovinco Birgit. You could take Dahveed Villa off. You've got those options. There is no reason that this team should not have a positive run, at least going into the playoffs. They could make a run for second place, if not the Shield, as long as Red Bull and Atlanta start losing some freaking games. Maron.
Yeah. Unreal. Between those two and the Red Sox, I can't catch a break either way.
It's unbelievable.
Unreal. Just unreal. But, I mean, again, it all comes down to this team has played enough games without Dahveed Villa where he should be an impact player, but not the impact player.
Right.
It's really going to come down to everybody's going to have their game. Everyone's going to have a game where they're the impact player. Shradi was it for us against Toronto. It may be someone else, the next game, which is fine because that just makes you all the more dangerous going down the line. No one's going to know who to mark. No one's going to know who to double team. Right now, I wouldn't be worried about Dahveed Villa. I'd be worried about Shradi. He's got no problem dribbling up and down past people. He'll run right at you. He'll make you look stupid. I think, honestly, if we saw Medina do a little more of that and have the capability of getting past people, which he has shown he can do, he can just do a little more often and have a little more confidence with the ball, this team could be absolutely unstoppable.
Yep.
Just unstoppable because they know how to find that little bit of space in the dangerous area. Every one of our attacking players knows how to find that space. Birgit has the nose for it. Villa has the nose for it. Maxey has the nose for it. Shradi certainly has the nose for it. And they're not afraid to do it. The one person I've seen this year had the shark bite, have the attitude to go after it, is Shradi. He's had it all year long. He's been clutch. He's come up big in big games for us where it didn't look great.
Dude, he's got 10 goals on the season, dude.
Listen, and we were asking who's going to fill in Jack's shoes, who's going to fill Lampard's shoes with those goals. You've got your answer.
There you go. There he is. He's right there. So let's talk a little bit about the goals there, dude.
Let's do it.
The Tajiri sauce is boss. All right. Dude, first goal, gotta love the hustle on his part. You really do. You gotta love his. I mean, he did have a poor touch, but was fortunately able to get past. I think it was Michael Bradley to get the shot off. And in fairness, I will say, Bono should have saved that first goal.
Yeah, I think a problem. For the first two goals end up going through defenders' legs.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you got to realize that there's a guy in front of you, and all it takes is a fraction of a deflection to make that ball go all kinds of crazy directions. So the keeper is a little bit hesitant in those situations. It's hard. It's not the easiest thing to do, and he's got a shot where he's got pace on it. And once it hits the ground with the wet grass, that ball skids and does whatever it wants. So is it a stoppable shot? Absolutely, just as much as Stuver's was a stoppable shot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, the man is certainly clutch, like you mentioned before. I absolutely love him. And here's the thing, dude. And you guys in the comments, let me know if you agree or disagree. But I think Tajiri is more dangerous when he's playing on the right than when he's playing on the left. He's more of a goal-scoring threat when he's up on the right, switching that ball to his left foot, than he is by trying to create chances on the left-hand side.
Yeah, well, again, now playing him on the right makes, when he does play on the left, a little more deadly because he's bringing guys with him all over the place. So if he's swinging like he did, in the first goal, he swung from the right to the left, and all of a sudden you've got defenders in the box crossing over. That leaves plenty of space for someone else to go right in and be there for a rebound. It's all in a circular motion. You've got guys moving from left to right. All of a sudden, that gives you it's like a circle. It opens up space, and they're very much a side to side offense. I mean, they always do drills like that. We're just trying to move the defenders around and finding a spot to go forward through. Again, I like him more on the right because he can give you that shot from the right. But I also don't mind him venturing off to the left every once in a while because it just keeps the defense honest.
Sure. I'm just thinking about his goals in particular have all come from that right side. Almost. I mean, from what I can recall.
He's had a couple from the left too. It's just I think he's more valuable on the right
as a goal scoring threat. As a creator, I could understand switching him off there. But again, him and Medina or him and Castellanos, whoever's playing on that left or right hand side alongside him, he's able to switch up, and that makes him a very versatile player in that. And then all of a sudden he can also bust something out from the middle like he did in the 88th minute to actually give NYCFC the lead. And dude strikes it on was it a full volley? I mean,
I think so.
Unbelievable. Smash the like button for Tajiris Shradi because that man literally won us the game. There is no other way to slice that. That second shot hit just the inside of the post and I think actually Bono did get a fingertip to it. He pushed it out to the post, and dude, you ain't stopping that. No, I don't care who you are.
Not a snowball's chance in hell.
Unbelievable.
And credit Birgit for doing just enough to make the defender just that uncomfortable.
I think it was Delgado, wasn't it?
I think so, but he got up in his face just enough where he caused a problem and allowed that ball to drop right to Shradi. Again, it's the things that are done off the ball that's not going to end up on the score sheet, but it's important. Because listen, if he's wide open, he's got more of an opportunity to run forward and put some more pace into that header to get it out of the zone. But when you got a guy who's 6'2" in front of you, backing you down, it's a little bit harder to do that. So it does make a difference whether you agree with it or not. So play off the ball is very, very important. And again, you've got guys that can come off the bench and do these things and allow people like Shradi and Villa to just flourish.
Yup. Dude. So who are we gonna give the dude of the match to?
Rodney Wallace for not playing.
Or Dome for not playing him. Guys, leave him in the comments. Who's the dude of the match? NYCFC versus Toronto. Let us know in the comments who it is. I'm just gonna put out a name that rhymes with Majuri Brady. Dahveed Villa. Dude, look. If Tajiris Shradi wasn't an absolute beast, I would give it to Dahveed Villa for coming back and scoring a goal and actually playing his heart out for those 70 minutes. But dude, how do you not even, like Eric is saying in the comments, not even a question?
Yeah,
Like, it warrants a little bit of a discussion, but not a lot. Not a lot.
A discussion that always ends the same way.
I mean,
listen. I mean, you talk about top 5 guys on the pitch according to the Audi Index. Shradi number 1 with 1,036 points. Vida right behind him with 714. Victor Vázquez and Sebastian Giovinco right behind him, and then Tinnerholm in the top 5, who quietly had a good game.
Dude, he had that. Tinnerholm had that one shot.
And that's tough to do because there is no angle.
There's no angle. There's no
angle there.
That was all Bono that would have caused that goal if that did wind up going in.
But listen, it's things like that can make a big difference in a game. Those things can go in very easily.
But it's not due to the match worthy.
Clearly, I mean, being the best player on the pitch by 300 points is pretty much a good sign where you're the match.
Edgar on Facebook is saying, due to the match, Maxi Morales. He opened up space and created a lot of opportunities. Shradi scored, but without a good center attacking mid, it's not possible. I think,
that's true.
Okay.
It's possible.
I think we talked about this a little bit, dude. It's like you can give Maxi, due to the match, almost any game.
Yes.
Simply because he does exactly what he's supposed to do every single game. He's that pivot player. He's that guy that you give the ball to try to find the opportunity, to find the outlet, and 9 times out of 10, he's very good at it. So can we almost always have Maxi as an honorable mention? I don't think of it. I can't remember a match, dude, where we said Maxi played horrible.
No, not in a long time. Far less often than last year. There were games where he just was not very good, and he did not seem DP-like. This year, totally worth it. I have no issues. With it. I think he's earned it. I think he's adjusted to it, and I think he is somebody that you really would want as a DP. That quality player. Not a big name, but clearly does his job, night in and night out. Again, we said it last week. It's just you've come to expect it at this point. So now it's really going to be like above and beyond for me to give it to him. If he's the only one on the field doing something, then obviously he'll get it. But if he's doing stuff and other people are scoring goals, things like that,
it's tough.
That's his job, and it's acknowledged that he's always like second in the running every game.
So I think Tajiri Shradi gets the due to the match for episode 118.
Just
Lauren, if you're here, if you're in the broadcast, add it to the doc. Tajiri Shradi, I think that's like 3? Maybe
that might be
4 for him, maybe?
He might be the first one in the 3.
He's got a DOTM hat trick, dude.
Yeah. Unreal.
Dude, there's some comments and questions and stuff from like Instagram and on Facebook here that I want to get into, because I feel like we've kind of like beaten a dead horse here. NYCFC sucked despite the result. Their performance totally did not equate to the score line. Tajiri certainly did, but this game was definitely not their best. It was a very, very ugly win, for sure, right? With that being said, I want to get to a question here. Actually, Roddy just brought up an interesting point. I'm just going to throw it up here. Is Maxi Morales MVP quality? Word is getting around that Maxi is a contender for MVP, says Roddy. And yes, when you compare him, I wish I could quote exactly who put it out, but one of the networks put it out, and it was like comparing him apples to apples to Miguel Almiron, and Maxi is smoking him in all categories this season.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Right now, in assists, he's number 2. Behind Kaku.
But it's Red Bulls, dude. Red Bulls don't count.
Yeah, I know they don't count. I mean, we're pulling him up right now. He's just, 8 goals. I mean, unreal. Unreal.
Dude, unreal. Again, this goes right. Dude, this plays right into what we were just talking about. A man that game in and game out delivers for you, does his job the way he's supposed to. unlocks players, unlocks the play. I want to say, dude, was Valeri the MVP last year?
I think he was.
Oh my God. Like, all these seasons are blending into one gigantic MLS season. But this is a very Diego Valeri-like season for Maxi Morales. He's got the goals. He's got the assists. He's playing game in and game out and giving it his all. And I think that makes him, MVP quality.
I will give you quality. He is definitely quality. I have no argument there. The stats speak for themselves, and they're going to get better as the year progresses. But as far as MVP goes, there is no way Joseph Martinez is not getting the MVP. 26 goals.
I know.
8 game-winning goals, and 6 of them are on PKs. I mean, he scored.
Dude, but no, listen. Hold on, though. Golden Boot does not equate to MVP.
That's fine, but let's put it this way:
guys, in the comments, who won the Golden Boot race last year? Who was it? Was it BWP?
I don't remember. Or Giovinco.
No, Giovinco was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe.
Too many. I'll put it this way: if Joseph Martinez does not score 26 goals, what does Atlanta look like right now?
Dude, of course, I get that. Yeah,
it's the most valuable player. So you are the
most valuable player for Atlanta,
right? So who? I guess it's tough because it's a question of who is the most valuable to their team. So if you took Maxi off of this team, would we be atrocious? I don't know. But if you take Joseph Martinez off of Atlanta, is that team anywhere near first place?
No, and I think they should do it.
And I am all for it.
That's a great idea.
It's a really tough because every team has that one player that's really important to them.
Oh, thank you. Nikolic won it last year. He wasn't MVP. Nikolic won Golden Boot. Thank you, Edgar. Boot.
Yeah. Again, his team didn't really finish that great. I mean, what did they finish? Second, third place?
They were in last place the year before. They went from last place to being in the top 4.
And they're in last place now.
That space is reserved for DC United and DC United only.
We have to get to them too before we finish. We'll get to them.
We will. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. But I don't know.
How does Zlatan have 15 goals already?
Dude, because he's Zlatan.
Where did I miss? I remember seeing like the first 2, and then like the
he started playing last month.
Where did these other goals come from? Do they count his as like 3 each? What's going on?
He's disgusting.
Do they count the further ones back as 3-pointers? I don't understand. Absolutely unreal.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
Yeah, listen, it's hard to. Back to the question: MVP quality. Yes, he is MVP quality. I just think that there are other guys that are more detrimental to their team. Not Golden Boot notwithstanding, it has nothing to do with it. I think even if he wasn't leading the Golden Boot, if he was 4 goals behind, I think the amount of goals that he scores for his team, I've just got 8 game-winning goals. That's pretty clutch. That's pretty clutch. I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see. I've got my money on him, but again, maybe if they don't win, if they get knocked out of the playoffs, maybe it's a different story. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's get to another question on Instagram this time, dude. We got oh my gosh, I'm trying to make this smaller here. Where does it go? I can't make it fit. Does Dome bench Medina for Castellanos in the next match? Says Jorge on Instagram. Thank you for the question on Instagram.
So this is juicy.
I like it. What do you guys think?
I'm hearing that there are players who are not happy that new guys have come in and have taken their spots. I've heard that a couple people, I don't remember where I heard it from, but I did hear it, so I don't take it with a grain of salt, but I'm hearing that there are players who have been here that are not happy that Castellanos comes in and plays the first game.
Starts the first game. Not even plays.
I'm hearing that that's an issue, and I can tell you 100%, I'm pretty sure Maxime Chanot is disgusted that he's not starting every single game.
That's an interesting spot, and that's something that we could probably touch on in a minute. But guys in the comments, let us know what you think. I see where this can start to cause a problem within the squad.
You paid a lot of money for Medina. You paid a lot. He's a young DP. I don't think you're really gonna all of a sudden bench him and put someone else in. Are you admitting that the young DP was a mistake? Are you just doing it for this year? Are you really gonna stunt this kid's development for Castellanos? Listen, I'm all for Castellanos playing in the midfield.
He did almost score a bicycle.
Let Medina play on the wings. That was nice. That would have been really nice.
That would have done it for me.
I would have been like, yes, jersey, his now. Yes. I would rather him take Herrera's spot and not see Afori play as much. And let Medina, rotate the wings with the other younger players and just everybody earns minutes that way. I don't think it's necessarily you just swap him for Castellanos because it's not always the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think by you trying to play Medina in too many spots, I don't think you're helping him. I think whereas he should be focusing on the things he does well, and like doubling down on those things, I think he's more spending too much time on. He's going to spend too much time on other areas that are just. It's going to make him an okay player, where he should be focusing on the things that he does extremely well and perfecting those to make him a great player. I just don't think that you can keep moving him around like that. I think you kind of need to have some sort of set lineup going. I give him 3 or 4 more games, but then after that, I say, September and October, you really need to have a lineup that is the same players week in and week out because you just need that consistency in order to be able to move forward. You just can't gel this way. It's difficult to gel, and luckily for us, our defense has been pretty much the same for the most part.
Yeah, but dude, I'll tell you, you're gonna. At what point do you piss off Maxime Chanel?
I think he's already pissed off. And I'll tell you exactly why. And I've got friends all over the league, and I talk to them on a regular basis. And a friend of mine in Toronto, he was the only player who would not sign autographs. The entire team signed multiple autographs for every fan that was standing there. Maxime was the only one, neither before, in the tunnel, or after the game, would not participate. I've witnessed him at several send-offs. If he doesn't play, he's not signing anything. He's not talking to anyone. The one time I did get him to sign something for me, came over to me, and I told you about it. I had that big poster of a game he wasn't playing in, and he made jokes. He's like, "Oh, I was there." And I'm like, "You're clearly not in the picture." He's like, "No, I'm there. I'm in the stands. Look, I'm right here," like making a joke. You could tell he's really unhappy about being the Rock, being the alternate captain, and all of a sudden your playing time is cut completely in half.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
literally down the middle.
Yeah, really, he's really not happy.
Amanda on Facebook says Chanot definitely deserves more starts, and Eric on Facebook says, "What are the reasons behind this constant Chanot Ibiaga rotation? Chanot is a DP quality center back. It's just I don't know. I wish I knew I don't know if it's something in training that, so why does Collins get that guaranteed spot, match in, match out, and that right center back position is the one every single time is always in question, and it's alternating every couple of games. And Christian on Facebook says Chanot should be starting over Ibiaga. And I'll tell you what, I can agree. And dude, again, Amanda comes in saying, after such a sloppy performance by the defense against Toronto, I hope some get rotated and some get rotated out, and Chanot gets in. And I agree. I think if you're gonna, when Chanot is playing consistently, he's a monster.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a question. There's no question.
What game did he play in? Didn't Chanot wear the armband recently?
Yeah.
I don't remember what game it is because he's always.
It was a home game, and Villa was out, and so it was in the last month or so.
I don't remember, but
yeah,
the point is that if the man is captain quality,
he's got to be on the field.
Why is he not playing?
He's got to be on the field. And again, Ibiaga did a great job while he was out for whatever reason. And he was out for the red card. After the Red Bull game, he had a terrible game. He came in after that, and he kind of like relinquished his role after that game. Yeah, and it wasn't the same. And Ibiaga's done a really good job. He's been really solid. I don't think he's made too many mistakes.
But we're stronger with Chanel.
I think we are. I think we are. But again, it's not to say you can't win with Ibiaga. You can certainly do that. We've done it. Of
course.
But I think you really kind of
need that consistency.
You need your guy, and I think he is one of the people that is pissed off that you've got players that just got here this year that have bounced them out of roles. Now, what can you do about that? I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's you want to rotate the guys to keep them fresh down the stretch.
But what's one player, dude? Like, why one player? That one spot is always in question.
Exactly. So why isn't it Collins, every so often?
Thank you.
And I just don't know. Because
you can play Chanel Ibiaga. Why don't we ever see that combo?
Exactly. And I guess Collins has a presence. And he's the Iron Man. I mean, he's played so many freaking minutes. It's unreal.
Except in the playoffs.
Right, but he should maybe be the one that takes his seat this way in the playoffs. He doesn't smack anybody in the face because he's tired.
That's right.
Maybe he needs a rest. Maybe go that way. I'm not sure, but I would like to know what goes on, and I don't think we'll hear about it until Chanel leaves.
Yeah.
Once he's gone.
Yeah,
and listen,
this
may be something that pushes him over the edge, and we don't see Chanel next year.
Snaps.
Which would suck. I hope not.
Yeah. Dude, we're in the second minute of stoppage time here.
We are. Oh, my goodness.
Guys, we want to wrap up the episode here, but who the hell watched DC United last night?
No one. But we all saw the highlight.
Dear God, what the hell was Wayne Rooney doing? He just...
That is one of the craziest things you'll ever see. Now,
I can't remember. I might have been Alexi Lawless that said this. This is the best last place team that you'll ever see. It's like
unreal, unbelievable. Listen, you can't knock his hustle. He still clearly will give you 110%. Now, it's the 110%. It's not the same 110% that he used to have, but he's known for these cross-field crosses. I mean, like completely just one end of the pitch to the other. He's got no problem doing that. But just the hustle to get back, steal the ball cleanly, and get up, move down the field, and then just launch a beautiful pass. Like, the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Now, the fact, should it have counted? Probably
all right,
not.
Yes. Take that away. I think we all agree that it shouldn't have counted from the counterattack that Orlando tried to start originally, right?
Yeah, because Acosta definitely tripped up.
Foul in the box, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just totally stuck his leg out.
But still
amazing. Still talent.
Dude, Wayne Rooney, no joke. He made like a 40, 50-yard run to try and catch, I don't even know who the hell it was.
Then he made a 20-yard run the other
way. And then a 40-yard pass on a dime. And that's the other thing, too. How does Wayne Rooney pick out the shortest man on the field to score a header in stoppage time?
They weren't expecting it. It was the element of surprise, I'm sure, because and that ball looked so funny in the air because like 3/4 of the way there, it changed direction. Like it went back towards the net.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Can we
crazy.
all just agree that Orlando is absolute trash? It's sad. I don't know if it's not the coach, obviously, because they've gone through 3 of them now. So have we, but we've done better. This is a team, dude, in Orlando City SC that has still yet to make the playoffs since their opening season in 2015 alongside NYCFC.
Yeah.
Something's got to get done. You've got a beautiful stadium. You've got an amazing fan base. We can agree on that. But the quality on the field is absolute garbage. Now, you can make the argument and say, well, they were without Sasha Kljestan, they were without Yotun, but you still suck besides that. So
not good. Not good.
Man, it's amazing.
Peek at the standings real quick here.
It's not pretty listen, DC United is still in rough shape, and so is Orlando. But still,
I will tell you who surprises me. Philadelphia. They're quiet. They're quietly creeping up. Now they're 9 points behind Columbus.
They're also going to the Open Cup final, dude, which is pretty impressive.
They've strung it. They've strung a couple of good solid performances.
And that's what gets me worried about them this weekend, dude. That's what gets me worried about them. Because if you go into this thinking, oh, it's Philly, after you beat Toronto at BMO Field, this has got trap game written all over it, dude.
This is why this league is so interesting, because it doesn't matter what the team name is. You have to look at their current form. So, like, Toronto is third from the bottom. I don't care if they're the defending champs. They're third from the bottom. Last year, if you beat these guys, I would have been thrilled. You beat a team that's third from the bottom. That's really all I can say about that. When you beat Atlanta, when you beat Red Bull, when you beat Columbus, those are games where I'm like, okay, now this year you're beating the best of the best. And the best of the best every year is different, with the exception of a few teams that are constantly at the top. Dallas is one of them. We're starting to become one of them. But these three teams at the bottoms of the six here, Columbus, Philadelphia, and Montreal, all pretty much within, distance of each other, with maybe Columbus is a little bit further ahead, but there's a big gap between Columbus and the top three. They're at 39 points, and we're all at 47 or 48. So it's going to be a very, very interesting race. And if all three of these teams can play well down the stretch, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But let's hope the two in front of us don't play.
Start blowing it.
Or just get ties.
Dude.
Just get ties. Ties could be you're only getting a point, but listen, when you're 1 point behind, a tie is not going to do it. You get two ties in a row, and all of a sudden a win, and you're leapfrogging people. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting.
I talk about this every season. I've talked about this every season that we've been doing this show. August is the month. I don't know why. August is the month that for NYCFC tends to determine the rest of the season and going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We usually have a decent summer until August. August is when things get shaky. You've got injuries. You've got fatigue.
Acquisition.
If we can keep the form now, if we can start the form, I should say, because we're not really in form. If we start the form where we pick up the win against Philly, then I don't know who's after that. Actually, I got to check the schedule. But you pick up a couple of wins this month. Is it Red Bull right after
Wednesday?
No.
Yeah, Saturday and Wednesday.
Oh dear God. So right. This month is flying by for me. So
it's insane.
But anyway, yeah, August is the month that starts to set the pace for the rest of the season for NYCFC. Remember, dude, last August is when we started to not be able to score more than a goal a game, sometimes not score at all. And it's when Dahveed decided, nobody could score goals anymore. Or somebody decided that nobody was allowed to score goals anymore. And you can't have that. This has to change. This has to shift, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. The teams that have the form going into the playoffs in this league are the ones that can ride it through. If you're skating by going into the playoffs and you just happen to make it because everybody else around you is playing like garbage, kind of like NYCFC had in the past couple of years, finishing in second place twice, you're going to get exactly what you got the last 2 years. The form needs to be there. The wins need to be there. The consistent points. You got to see three, 4 wins in a row from this team. going into the playoffs to go in there strong. You hope you don't have to play the playing game, but you got to have the wins going into it. It just makes it much better for everybody.
Every sport, hockey, basketball, baseball, those last couple teams that fight their way to make it in usually cause a lot of damage because they're hot. They're hot. They're riding a hot hand. They've got a good scorer, a good keeper.
Momentum, dude.
So it's regardless of whether you have to play in the playing game or not. If you're, New England on the outside looking in, and all of a sudden you pick up steam and you manage to knock Montreal or Philadelphia out of a playoff spot, they're a team that's going to be one to watch because they're going to be hot.
Sure.
So it's interesting to see what goes on. Listen, we still got plenty of soccer left.
We're getting down to it, though, man.
But we're getting down to it.
So we got Philly. We'll be back here on Monday night after the Philly match, and then we're going to be also doing a show Thursday, right after the Red Bull game at Yankee Stadium. So that should be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
we really do appreciate you guys joining us. Hey, the last thing before we go. Put in the comments, Premier League started up this weekend, so if you guys follow the Prem, let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the league this year. I'm putting up Man City again just because it's what I do. And man, they look good, but a lot of teams look good this weekend. Liverpool looked scary. United looked Tottenham looked pretty scary, I thought. So let us know in the comments who you think is going to take it this year. Dude, hot take right off the bat. Who you got? Gut. First thing.
I think Liverpool's going to take it.
Stop.
And I'm not a fan. Listen, I don't claim to be a fan of Premier League. I don't watch nearly as many games as you do. I don't have a team in Premier League. It's just with Mo Salah on that team, just filthy. Just filthy. He is one to watch. I mean, he is so much fun to watch play.
Speaking of Liverpool.
What happened? The Beatles are here.
Huh?
The Beatles are here. What?
Guys, if you haven't already, go on Twitter or Facebook or wherever your favorite social network is.
Is this what I'm thinking?
Just go Google or search Jurgen Klopp. I'm going to leave you with that. He is undoubtedly Liverpool's not my team.
But he is one of my favorite coaches.
But he's my coach.
He is.
This is what you go look for it. Go onto Twitter after the show and just search for Jurgen Klopp and then tweet to us. And then tweet to us or leave us a comment on Facebook.
And let us know what you think about that.
Because you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. You just can't miss it. So there you go. Anyway, that's been episode 118. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we're at Dudes in Blue. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Leave us the review on iTunes and on Facebook if you like the show. We will definitely
check out. Don't forget the Johnson's Laundromat shirt. New shirt alert.
Thank you for those who have purchased already. Go check out the Dudes in Blue shop at dudesinblue.com. We'll be back here on Monday night, 8 o'clock after the Philly match. But until then, stay blue.